Good time zone, everyone. Good morning if it is somewhere where, if you are somewhere where it is morning. Um, it is Sunday, which means Sunday Scaries, and we're gonna dive back into Slay the Princess. I did not think we would be coming back to this game when I started it last week, for a couple of reasons. I did not realize, first of all, how exactly my shit this game would turn out to be. It is a horror comedy time loop game, which is, I mean, just give it to me by the truckload. The other thing I didn't realize, which I continue to kind of go on a spiral about today, is how big this game is. I was taking a quick little peek at the achievements, um, and I to kind of see where our progress was, and we have barely scratched the surface of this game. So I think that um, am gonna switch it up next week to something different for Sunday Scaries. But I very easily and happily could play this game for the rest of existence. So we'll probably come back to this game maybe on future Sundays. Maybe as sort of just a go-to standby surprise stream game. Because I think it is pretty easy to dive in and out, given that it is a time loop where you just die over and over again. So yeah, if you have suggestions for next week's Sunday Scaries, feel free to drop them in the chat. As always, good news, highlights from the week are welcome. Um, and yeah, I think let's dive on in. So we're back. Here we are. We are, as you will see in a moment, very much dead, but it's fine. It's like the 24th time that's happened. I don't know. There was one point last week where we hit sort of like a Bill Murray in Groundhog Day just death montage, where we just kept repeatedly getting stabbed with swords. So we're, I don't know, somewhere between, I think, 3 and 24 deaths, depending on what you count as a death. So let's get back to it. Oh, welcome in, Seven. A Back to the Future
You're
Lego
on the
set. Ooh, that
path
sounds
in the
so
woods,
fun.
and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, what a delightful way to spend a Sunday, Seven. What a great idea. All right. Let's kill Barry. Not the third thing. Probably not the third thing. I don't think this is that kind of game.
You're
The
here
princess.
to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
How do we want to start this off? We've done a lot of these already. Let's get whiny about it. Can someone
Unfortunately,
else?
you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I hate what a good point this is. Yeah, Seven, I'm curious, how big is that Lego set? Because I could see, like, the DeLorean being either, like, I feel like that could be, like, almost something you don't even build, something that just, like, pops right out of the box. Or I could see that being, like, a chunky boy. But that's so cool. I haven't built a Lego thing in forever. I want to say I'm really good at building Legos, but also I feel like I haven't built a Lego thing since I was like 8. And so I was probably building Lego things meant for 8-year-olds, and I feel like all 8-year-olds are probably pretty good at building Lego things meant for 8-year-olds. Oh my god, 1,800 pieces. Wowzers. I think that was a little bit beyond my wildest dreams. That's amazing. Yeah, no, let's go sit. I think we're doing the WLB route this time, the whiny little bitch. Forget it, I'm not doing
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
No, I don't wanna. Do I get some sort of a
Yes,
reward?
but you have to slay her before you get it.
Can you... We're whiny, but we're also very praise dependent. Can you tell me what my prize
It's a
is?
secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your one. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin, or okay, thanks for telling me what to do. We're not, I don't think we're sassy. I think we're just whiny. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin. Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
I am once again, like, pleasantly surprised and disarmed by the art and the music and the whole aesthetic of this game. It is exactly the sort of, like, cozy scary that I am into.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're whiny, we're not stupid. We're gonna take that blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Huh. Just checking in on you.
It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her.
Well, we should have concealed the knife is the real solution here. I think we've already sort of...
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
It always cracks me up when they say it's unbecoming. So very British. Let's listen to the hero this time. Let's just be easily influenced. Let's just be sort of an easily influenced fool this time around.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step
The
forward to speak with the
eyes.
princess face to face.
Every time.
Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
You're apparently going to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Well, bro.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Well, that's even more suspicious.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
No, but I'm sure they have their reasons
Thanks
for
for the
keeping
vote of
that information
confidence.
secret.
What if they're bad reasons, though? If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave.
Oh?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
I like how I was like, this time around I'm going to be an easily influenced dumbass, and Voice of the Hero has been a step ahead of everything I've been about to say. So, you know, hero has a very fluid definition.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
Shit. I should have brought the knife. People are more honest when you have a knife.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
Welcome in, and I'm not quite sure how to pronounce. Just Annie. Okay, great. Thank you for that one. Welcome on in, Annie. It goes well. We haven't died yet. This time around. It's coming. I'm sure it's coming, but we have not yet murdered or been murdered by this princess. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Sunday with us. My name is Sam. I am a weekend. I am going to. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm bad at parsing even the most basic of names. My name is
So do you
Sam.
trust me,
Currently a weekend
the
streamer.
prisoner, the
Stardew
victim,
Saturdays.
The
Slay the Princess on
clearly
Sundays.
incapable of ending the world. Or do you trust whoever put me here?
Right now we're in a very tense negotiation with a princess who is chained to a wall. It's always fun how quickly the power dynamics invert once we get down here.
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know this game. It is hard to even remotely discuss this game, like, mid-game, without it being a spoiler for... It's how do you talk about spoilers in a time loop game? It's a fascinating philosophical quandary. I don't think we want to flirt with her this time, but I am kind of fascinated. What voices have we seen this time around? Nothing so far. We've got the hero. Last week we met the sullen. We did the sword ending, which I think means we met just about all of them. We met. Is it the cowardly? There's the sullen, the smitten, the stubborn. So we met at least briefly a whole bunch of them. Okay, I know she's not going to tell me her name. I know she's not going to be able to tell me how long she's been down here, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Too long.
That's actually a much better answer than she gave last time I asked that.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
How would I get you out
You
of here?
can't. Don't bother.
I wasn't asking you, British man. I was asking the nice lady.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't...
Yes. I think that is. I also believe that is the list. And I think we did meet every single one of them when she turned into a monster made of swords. I think we spent the most time with the stubborn, the broken, and the smitten, though. Truly, every single version of her has been beautiful and perfect in its own unique way. We also met the damsel, and then we met, I don't remember what the Fury, the big open ribcage heart monster.
Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Oh,
Her
right.
sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
Huh, we could do that version. We did one version
She
where
isn't
she
suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
just straight up gnawed her arm off like a coyote, so I think
She is. I'm sure of it.
maybe we try the surgical option this time around. Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Sure do. I hate this last one because it one of the, I think, heaviest creep vibes in the whole game. But it does feel like what this easily influenced dumbass would do. No, you know what? She's the most recent person we talked to. Let's get her out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Shh. It's okay.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out of here? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe there's a key, and if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free. There's really nothing upstairs. But I think we're also kind of a soft, easily influenced dumbass, so we'll go look
I'll
upstairs.
be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement,
Right.
but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Dang it.
Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Okay.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
Yeah, murder makes a lot of things easy, but it's not always the best solution, now is
Easier
it?
for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Sure did.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Okay, well that seems drastic. I mean, I feel like we could at least kill a little bit of time. Do you like Scrabble? Oh, I've got Heads Up on my phone. Do you like Heads Up?
You won't like what happens.
Okay,
if
nope,
you
we
do
can
that.
we can go straight to okay, great. Oh, this is fun. This is a fun little differentiation. I think we're gonna Save feels really generous here. I mean, I get that we are freeing her, but we are also mutilating her, so I don't know. But yeah, let's do it.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
And in Whoville, they say the princess's eyes grew 3 sizes that day. Jeez. Ooh.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
That content warning went off at least once, right? Yeah, we've been live 20 minutes. It should have got off a few minutes ago. Ooh.
She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
Yeah, she's a resourceful young woman. So yeah, she would have got out here one way or another.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom
right,
stair,
we did this
your
one.
body steps forward and raises the blade.
Or we did a variation on this one.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Last time he took us over, we did warn her. I also think that might have been the damsel ending, though, where she was acting real different. I don't remember for sure, though. I am curious to see what happens if we just straight up betray her. I don't think we've headed to necessarily the exact ending we're at here, but we have done this little scene where the narrator takes over our body, and we get this selection.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too
Yeah.
easy.
It was the damsel ending because she did not turn on us like this.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Yeah, it was the damsel ending because I think this is what she started crying.
I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the bay you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, have I just never noticed this one before? Huh. Which tact are we taking? Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
I don't think we spent that much time with Voice of the Skeptic. Welcome to the party, bro.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Oh, fun. I was kind of an idiot this time, so they gave me one of the smarter voices.
And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
We're gonna... Yeah, let's be whiny about
Those
it.
are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of ways we could die.
The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
Did you A, try to bring out the apocalypse, or B, hurt my feelings? Because either of those would have been punishable by possession and potential death.
Sure you are.
I kind of appreciate the way the narrator works that in that way.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
I like the skeptic. The skeptic is asking a lot of the questions I've been asking, which is, what, where is everybody? Literally anybody.
Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Ooh, yeah, let's talk about
Just
this
be
princess.
quick about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her, and all she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to end the world? Or who locked her in the basement? What is this place? Ooh. I hope we get to do both, but that I think is definitely the priority.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Well, people are assholes, though, so that doesn't tell me anything. This one I don't care so much about. The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was but if I don't ask it now, is it gonna go away? This one's probably gonna come back, yeah, so we'll keep pulling on this string.
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Okay, come on, skeptic.
Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
I don't want to make him defensive. Also, no, we're just gonna do this. The only reason she was able to kill me is because I let her, and all she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for?
Make her in, like, one continent. Just
Literally
one.
anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
Like, we're barely using Antarctica. I guess I should have assumed this world has the same geography as ours. And also, I recognize that Antarctica probably surely has massive global consequences on a scientific level. It's just also penguins. So, actually, I take it back. We need Antarctica. Wait, what? Check my pockets.
You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across
This
the
looks
front.
like my handwriting. This looks like it was written by a third grader.
Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
So I think we're supposed to be like a little bit insulted by the implication that that's our handwriting, but my handwriting actually is really, really bad. So
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting?
I've also got to say, for having been written with these talons, I think that's pretty good. That would be a hilarious option for a response.
I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes.
What's-
Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
What's immutable mean?
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk.
This evidence isn't going to stop me. I can't read.
I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm going to keep pulling on these strings.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point, Annie, is that the skeptic is very sort of cold and scientific, and we're in a time loop with a super-powered princess, so I could see how that could be a stumbling block.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind,
Dismissed.
the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Let's go. One of these times I really do have to try
Warning,
turning around and leaving.
before you go any further.
Oh, I wonder if that's where we find all the people. I'm kidding. I'm sure there's not other people. Unless there are. We should try the turnaround and leave
She will lie,
option soon.
she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I mean, last time was any indication, she's really not going to have to try that hard.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud?
I don't think he has eyes.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
I mean, he's just a disembodied voice. How would you expect him to otherwise wink?
The interior of the cabin is less a
Ooh.
cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Interesting. I'm not sure if I just didn't notice this last week or if it is different. I think you can probably see this on screen, okay? Everything in the cabin has like a little flicker animation to it, except for this mirror. This mirror is the only thing in the cabin. Oh, and the knife, actually, and the table. Okay, so it's just the walls that have the flicker. Never mind. It's not quite as dramatic as I initially thought.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're gonna take that blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
I want to keep exploring because now we've got the skeptic with us, and I like to get his thoughts on things.
He definitely did not. Does the mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do.
Oh, interesting. What happens if we just
I
remain
care
silent?
about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else could he be hiding from us? I'm not lying to you, I promise. There isn't a mirror. Really.
This whole cabin
Very
is different.
Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
That's an interesting fun fact, Annie, that this forces you to pick up the blade, and it makes me feel a little bit bad that I just picked it up, no questions asked. But she killed us last time, and she killed us using the blade, so it's important we have it one way or the other. One way or another, this blade's getting used.
So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
I mean, obviously, we're gonna go approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Let's touch that wall.
Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I mean, it's not that silly.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
I mean, not until we get Big Dead.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Interesting. I think we have seen this version of the basement before, but I feel like the cabin was a little bit different in that version. I don't know. It's been a
Her
week.
voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
That's a very good point. I don't think Stubborn ever forced us to pick up the blade, and he loves violence. Although Stubborn was also like, let me at her, I'll take her on barehanded. So that might be why he was so, Oh, yes! Very good eye. Yes, I think you're correct there, Annie. I think in the Damsel, it was carpeted and looked a bit more castle-y as opposed to jail-y.
Does she remember us? You walk down the
Oh
stairs and
my
lock eyes
God.
with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
I mean, I have seen this woman transform into a demon and pound my head into a stone wall, and I still feel really, really bad for her chained up like this. This is excessive.
So much for cutting her out of here.
Jesus, this must be so heavy. I've never seen someone look so uncomfortable in my life. That's not true, but
You hear yourself
that's
right
rough.
now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table.
Yeah, I don't. How would we cut her out of this?
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just gonna leave her here. We'll sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
I think, her crown, I think, is a little different in this design, too. It's more chainy.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Yeah, this is some of the cooler art in this game.
That's
We
reasonable.
also don't get the sort of
do
wide
have a
shot
weapon.
angle very often.
Might as well put her at ease.
Or I guess medium shot. Yeah, no, we're gonna sit where we were told to sit.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
We have, at this point, it feels like almost no power. Like, we are caught between the force of you and the narrator. So we have very little intentions. My intentions, what do you mean? I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? That's interesting. What happened after I died last time? Okay, feels like that's a little predicated on her knowing that last time happened. Other chain on the wall, who's it for? Ooh, a lot of great questions. There's the bailout option. Let's go with I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that?
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Excellent.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Oh, that's an interesting picture of the skeptic. I picture the skeptic as kind of a well, actually, dude. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't have a fedora. This is interesting.
Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
Oh, Smitten, because he sounds so much like Matt Berry, I just fully picture as Laszlo for What We Do in the Shadows. Like, I picture him with a cape, with an ascot. But yeah, I could also see Smitten being very much a fedora guy.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this
seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic.
Yeah, it feels like a real sort of dereliction of duty.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
We're not daydreaming, we're having an internal debate. What happened after I died
Nothing
last time?
happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them.
She sounds almost robotic in this iteration.
And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
That other chain on the wall? Who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
I know, but it's such an intriguing proposition. What happens if I put on that chain?
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
I'm just taking a look.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
We don't know it's one with... Oh, well, we do know we don't have the key, I guess. Maybe she has the key to that one, though.
And what? Is it going to lock the
I also
second we
just
put
want to
our
see what
wrist into it?
happens.
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
We're inspecting the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity.
No, this is against your better judgment. Our better judgment isn't very good.
I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Well,
What is that supposed to mean?
you're a narrator.
It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Well, why'd you go and say that? Now it's true. Narrator.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Cool.
Excuse me?
Hey, Rumi. We live together now.
Yes? Are we stuck here now?
I mean,
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Or it's just a trap. That it's done exactly what it needed to do. Did you know this was going to happen to me?
No.
Okay. What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
So, we're both stuck here.
Yep.
So how about them Yankees?
Nope.
Okay.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
I mean, we're really, really close to her. And we seem fine. I mean, chained to a wall. But otherwise fine.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Hey, have you noticed the basement changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
You continue to wait in silence.
Oh,
and
wow,
the
yeah,
cabin
there it
continues to
goes.
change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Wow.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And?
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay, just trust me. We've been here before. You always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Oh, tough. I'll see you on the other side. That's a lie. This also is probably a lie, but I'm less positive that it's a lie, so we're gonna try it.
If you say so. We'll trust you.
Feels too good to be true.
Silence as you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. That one's new. We've grown, we've decayed, but we've never unraveled before. That's fun. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Yes, please. Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Well, that's flattering. Thanks. Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Yeah, do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart.
Oh, interesting. That is also fairly true of the skeptic, which is what we got this time around. Interesting.
Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
Huh. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does, I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does, I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. Oh, they're all he does. Cool. So that's it for Rachel. I don't think I realized that. I'm going to go with he does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Let's try. How many more vessels?
1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then
Oh.
gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
How interesting. Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
That's an excellent point. If this is the last time, is
These
there anything you would
gifts
like?
are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
I don't know if I like that idea. That this somehow shows the contours of my heart. I've largely been going by vibes. If this is the last stage, then I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here. Okay, that's an explore option, so it won't be a choice. But yeah, let's see what happens if I say that.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
There's no waiting forever. All right, I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Gets me every time. Achievement got
You're on a
a
path
guarded vessel.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
We're gonna try it this time. Turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Absolutely no idea. Okay, fine, you're persistent. I'll go to the princess, slay the cabin. Nah. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin. I'll talk to the princess. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. I've had parentheses, the cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Gonna walk in the opposite direction now. Or quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. This one's fascinating. I mean, all of these are fascinating. Yes, I definitely
Somehow
know
I
where I'm
doubt
going.
that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hey, I'm that annoying little voice.
That's strange. It looks
Ah.
like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Clever. Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I don't care. I'm not killing a princess. Good. Maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into this. Doing this or quietly continue down the path. Good. Maybe everyone should die.
When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess. And, last I checked, you're part of everyone too, so if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well.
Oh,
But fine,
great.
you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
I thought they were going to force us to the cabin.
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin, don't I? Fine. Or, oh yeah, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's
Yeah.
always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Ooh, the music is getting distorted. That's a good sign.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
This is very cool.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
Not active search of certain death. If something happens, happens. We've already died somewhere between 5 and 25 times. So
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
summer. Oh,
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path
there's
is
a
cabin.
wall.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
You clever bastards, you built a wall.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Those walls were here last time. You can't just force me to go to
What
the
are you
cabin.
talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Ah, yes. Another one that I don't think we saw a huge amount of during the Razor.
He
Oh,
might
this
have
is
walled off
fun.
everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
Yes. Oh, this is a fun one.
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off.
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky.
The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Which is for sure going to be arguing with you a whole bunch. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely going to slay that
You know
princess.
I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you go any further.
So part of me wants to continue to be contrarian and just refuse to enter the cabin if they continue to give me that option. But I think a bigger part of me really wants to see what the princess looks like in this state.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Oh, that's interesting. An excellent point, Annie. Thank you for that.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it.
Let's keep an open mind.
Oh, nope, we're going in.
The cabin interior
Oh my
is
God.
wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
This is the coolest use of that parallax effect I have ever seen. And I think they also use this in Scarlet Hollow a little bit. So this is, and oh wait, they do have some pretty cool uses of this in Scarlet Hollow too. Now that I stop and think about it, still, fantastic, really cool, really good.
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with.
Yeah, when he said knife out the window, I was
I've
like, is that
already
going to be a real
told you what
choice?
You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
Don't threaten me with a chaotic time.
You can't just say that. Not when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
This voice actor is so good.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us.
I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind.
Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
Okay, I'm fine.
Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
You didn't say anything about the mirror.
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
There's definitely a mirror.
There isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more.
Which has been the response of literally every voice, even the ones who aren't necessarily so opposed to the narrator. I think every single voice has been like, we're looking in that mirror. I also want to look at myself. I want to see how
We
handsome
shouldn't
I
waste
am.
time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important.
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? So we're all in agreement then. We're looking.
We are going to take that blade, though.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that.
Then how are we supposed to hold it?
The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom.
It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
We're going to hold our blade the
Switch
other
your
way.
grip on the blade. Congratulations.
Yes! Isn't this so much better?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already.
No, there's a mirror. Mm-hmm. Throw the blade out the window.
Ah, yes! Do it!
Seriously. You throw the blade at the window,
Oh, wild.
glass showering the cabin as your weapon flies out into the night.
We'll be fine, don't worry about it. What's the worst that could happen? The world ends. Been there, done that.
I'm not so sure. This place is already messing with my head. It would be much better if we had a weapon.
Hero, you're such a narc sometimes.
What's done is done. Good luck, hero.
We're looking at that mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Yeah, contrary, it's a lot of fun.
The door to the basement
Oh
creaks
my
open,
god,
revealing
yes.
a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials.
That's amazing. This is so cool. This is such a good game.
Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I mean, I would say they go down. They go all over, but I would say they do go down.
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby.
Nope.
I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
That is true. Whatever we do, we're going to die, but that is also true of life.
We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Harsh stairs, center stairs, or soft stairs? The soft stairs.
You step to
It's
the
already
right.
been a long day.
The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down, like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern that you might slip or tumble or lose your way. But the further you go, the deeper you sink in. First, it's like a lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight. The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss, pretending to save you from the cruelties of choice and consequence.
That sounds nice.
It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness, the very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
Suddenly, you find yourself in the music video for Aha's Take On Me.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you okay?
That was really cool. Yeah, we're... wow, this is a very good game. This is such a good game.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways.
The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And, why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems... normal.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was
That's
here.
okay. Sometimes I forget where I am too.
The shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. She's so warm and friendly. It's deception. Don't buy into it.
How strange. So, why are you here?
As the
Cool.
princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back?
Can we just, like, put her back together? Just kind of...
You? Does it matter?
Oh, shoot. I think I clicked through that a little quickly. You said you'd never been here before, right? What exactly... Oh, you said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Well, we weren't pulled apart and put back together like that.
Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
No. Oh, that's cool. Getting down here was weird. Like, I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened
I
to
don't know
me?
what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
What's your
You
name?
can call me Princess, if you'd like. Princess. It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
None of them have name. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
All right, let's do the reality break-in one.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
Ooh, a fade out.
falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others they just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Yeah, welcome to adulthood, Contrarian.
Please.
I'll do my best. Nope, sorry, too late it turns out. Achievement gotten, the illusion of choice. When everything is possible, nothing is. But you'll never know if she hears your reply. She's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
I think she'll find us.
Oh, there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Let's just approach the mirror this time.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirrors always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
Oh! A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Can we see? Oh! I was about to be like, can we see him? And then he blinked. Okay. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
I think 5 so far? I mean, what counts as a world? Because, so, again, somewhere between, I think, 5 and 30. I have so many questions for
Ask
you.
them, and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me.
What is this place? Where are we?
Construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done. And it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
I've met you many times. Have you been the same you all along?
I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
And what is my true identity?
You're the Long Quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Whoa, what? Why would you want to rid the world of
If you need to ask
death?
that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
Oh god, I always do. I was special. After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live? How am I supposed to rid the
By
world of
slaying
death?
the princess. Once she's gone, everyone will get to exist exactly as they are. No more fear, no more howling chaos, just life. Forever.
If you're not me, then what are you?
I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
The people out there beyond the walls of the construct, do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do to them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Just got achievement, Death of the Author, run out of questions. Say nothing and watch him end.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator's right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. See to the cabin one last time. Achievement got in a spiral vessel. Bring the stranger to her. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Do you know about the Echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature.
Wow,
isn't
shady.
it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Wow. So many. Okay. There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Okay. Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is this all falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts.
Welcome in Puddleglum. We have just gotten our 5th iteration of this princess, which I think means we're about to hit an ending of the game. It's real tough to tell with a time loop game. But yeah, I think we're at the point where we either unleash her and destroy a world.
If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Or we kill her and a world stagnates forever, if I'm understanding what the narrator was telling us correctly. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. I'm not sure that's true, but let's see.
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well.
Oh.
If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
I didn't think this would pop off so quickly.
My masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, and there is no end. And there is no end. There is only the flood of bodies. There is only the flood of bodies. In every moment you hold every possible sensation at once. And then you hold them all again. Sensation at once. And then you hold them all again. But in the end, you reflected it back at me. For a brief moment, both of us were everything.
Oh, there's the stranger. There's the last version of the princess that we just got. I wonder if that changes based on... I wonder how many endings this game has. I wonder how universal she is.
Again. We can weave a beautiful and endless song.
Expand, address this fatal statement directly. You speak about life and death and change and stagnation, but that isn't what any of this has been about. You've done nothing but lecture me since the minute I got here. You act as though the world can't exist without you, but I've existed without you. I won't engage with violence. And let's appeal to shared humanity.
Oh,
You speak about life and
is it
death,
not?
but that's not what this is
Perhaps you
about.
can enlighten me. The flesh never everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your sufferings, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck.
We literally did place a shackle on our neck, didn't we?
Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom.
Oh, I think I see what's happening
Without
here.
impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
I'm guessing this will call out, although that's what we got when we got the Contrarian. My guess is rejecting her authority takes us down this road. I'm thinking that each of these, although maybe it's argue your independence that's Contrarian. I'm thinking that each of these is a different one of the endings we've achieved. My guess is this might bring out the Razor. If we just try to straight up fight her. Let's continue appealing. This has always been about us, two people forced to hurt each other again and again, but we don't have to hurt each other anymore.
You cling to your notion of pain is suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it.
Here comes the Razor. There she is.
It goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once.
Music, incredible. Really, really, really good music for this segment.
You learned to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
So it looks like they're coming out in reverse order. So the next one to come out, I think, is going to be the Damsel. And then we'll end with the Fury. What happens if I switch tacks? I won't engage with
But
violence.
violence has defined the thread of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go?
Oh. This is from her perspective. I think this might be the most complete view of what we look like. Yeah, there's our feathers.
But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
There can be love. It does feel like we're kind of. I was going to go with this one, but I do think we need to bring the whole of reality into the picture. It does seem like that part might be non-negotiable. Man, this I realize this probably doesn't matter so much. Let's go with this one.
We are the whole of reality. Is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones.
When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
We're not the whole of reality. Why won't you see me the way I still see you? Why won't you see me for what I am? I mean, we've been taking this tack the whole time. Let's stick with it.
I could ask you the same. There is only room for one of us to be blind here, and I know it to be you. We are each other's mirrors, and are we not divine?
As the clash between you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Man. What do you think happens if we leave here?
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
It's easy to believe in things when you get to sit above it all.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
Let's see if we can go with this one. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. It can't be this. I won't kill you, but I won't let you free.
There is no something else. This, what we are, is everything.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Where'd you come from? I thought you died whenever I looked in the mirror.
I think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I think I gotta be. I'm
Then
ready.
let's go.
Okay, we're back into the Take On Me music video. Ooh.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it?
There's the shifting mound art outside of the windows.
Do you need me to describe things?
Is it just you and me? Anyone else make it
It's
to
just
happen?
us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Is the narrator really gone?
It's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
It's funny, after everything he put us through, I'm kind of sad to see
it's
him go.
complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
Let's take the blade.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
And down we go.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that.
Okay.
A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us.
Well, now that she's called me a centrist, I have no choice but to kill her.
And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Sure. Are you the same as you are out there?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
I don't think I want to be a god.
Honestly, me neither.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
Interesting. If we're talking about this right now, how do we know we haven't done this before?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
We're gonna find ourselves back here
And if
eventually.
we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
How do you know that things won't end worse? What if when I make my way back here, I'm different and I hurt you? What if I kill you? What if I let you bring about the end of everything?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too.
Would resetting it do anything to help them, the people out there? If you continue to exist, don't they continue to die and suffer?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
Okay. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and toss down a save here. And then I think today we slay the princess.
You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
You blink, and the princess is gone. All you have left of her is a small, melancholic weight that sits at the borders of your heart. Whatever action brought you and the princess into being was rough and jagged, and left each of you with a piece of the other. By destroying her once and for all, you also destroyed a part of yourself. But the world hasn't ended. Things continue on. Oh, missed the hero saying she's gone and I don't think she's coming back. No, she's not.
Then we did what we set out to do. Come on, let's get going. We don't need to linger down here anymore.
You leave the basement behind. Then the stairs. And then you leave the cabin itself.
It's quiet here.
The path and the woods outside are an empty canvas, but there is even more to see beyond this place. The fruits of your labor. A world free from death. We set ourselves free. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Open your heart and bear witness to your new kingdom. All at once, the unyielding tension gives way. And then the shattering. You are free, and before you lies the endless expanse of absolute reality. A new absolute reality, one forged by your will and by a long and arduous cycle of bloodshed that has stained your hands countless times over. But there will be no more bloodshed in this new world.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
Welcome back.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering and the coercion and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it.
Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah?
Yeah, we can do that.
A new and unending dawn. Slay the princess. We are gonna play on through these credits because wow, what an incredible game. We will definitely be coming back to this game, probably sporadically, probably not for a while. But I guess I think I want to load that save and let her reset everything, and keep exploring the space because this has been a lot of fun. Next, thank you all so much for spending a little bit of your Sunday with us. Oh, and I just got another achievement. Our song finished the game. The good ending does not count. So there is definitely more endings to be explored. I will be back next Saturday with some Stardew Valley. I will be back on Sunday with a different game. I'm going to do some hunting, see if I can find another... Oh, cute. And they've got a little playlist right here. Oh, I guess this is the playlist that we get for that for finishing the game, not the good ending. I wonder if there's another playlist you get for the good ending. Oh, what an incredible way to close that out. Oh, that is just brilliant. I love that. Awesome. So I'm going to go on the hunt for another sort of cozy, scary game for Sunday Scaries next week. If anyone has any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the chat, message me over on a social media platform, shoot me a whisper. But I'll do a little bit of hunting. Part of me wants to do, at some point, Scarlet Hollow, Black Tabby's other horror game. I've played a little bit of it. I think that might be a good fit, but I don't think I want to dive right into that. So I'm going to do some exploring. We are going to go ahead and go on a little raid. I am hopeful that Brian Urban Bohemian will still be live for a little bit longer. I think he usually goes until about 11 on Sundays. If anyone knows me to be definitely incorrect there, let me know. But for now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a raid started over to him. Still no raid call. Wish him a happy Sunday. So thank you all so much for being here. I hope to see you back next Saturday for Stardew Valley. Hope to see you back next Sunday for whatever we decide to play. Might throw a surprise stream in at some point. There's a possibility I'll be free at some weeknight evening and we'll go live. So keep an eye on my socials. Follow me if you haven't. Aside from that, thank you all so much for spending a little bit of your Sunday here. Wish Brian a happy Sunday as well. Yeah, and thank you all so much. Have good weekends.